Today, I saw something actually pretty remarkable on Twitter, okay? I saw a woman getting canceled and getting put on blast for, get this, being a woman and wanting to be called a woman. Now, I know, it sounds too good to be true. You may be thinking that I'm fabricating a Twitter moment or misrepresenting what actually happened, but no, there was this lady on Twitter that basically said, I'm a woman, and that's what I am. So this was the tweet that started all the backlash. It says, I'm a woman, please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit. And that's the entire tweet. Now, basically, what she's referring to is this push to kind of remove the word woman and man from, like, everyday use, which obviously is insane. And instead of using men and women, they would prefer to use language like person who births, or like person with penis or some shit. I have no idea. It's so stupid. But the goal of this is to basically include transgender people into language, I think. Truthfully, I don't see the vision here. I don't know what they were cooking. I don't know who let them cook, but this is like not gonna catch on. The tweet is correct in saying that it's degrading because you're only referring to somebody by their genitals, but also I think that it's just corny. Like, imagine me saying, hey, this girl that I'm dating is a person with a uterus, or I'm sorry, I'm just dating a person with a uterus. Like, what the hell? Do you know how many raised eyebrows I'll get if I try to interject that into one of my sentences in sort of an everyday interaction? People are gonna think that I'm either trying to tell a joke or that I'm autistic. So I completely agree with the tweet that says we should just refer to women as women. I don't understand how that's controversial, but I looked at the replies to the tweet and the quote tweets, and oh my god, people are angry about this, man. And it's not even just the run-of-the-mill stuff, like, oh, it doesn't even hurt to be that inclusive, or, dude, do it for trans people or something, right? But now they're accusing her of being like a hateful person. Now, I don't know who this person is, so maybe this individual has said some suspicious things in her past, but my assumption is that people are likely calling her hateful based off of just this tweet. So anyways, let's take a look at these replies. This first reply here says, hi Anna, no one is asking you to call yourself or be called anything other than a woman. Anatomy-oriented language is used in a clinical context where anatomy is relevant. This argument is like a mousetrap set up by TERFs. Please don't take the bait. And somebody replied to him with a screenshot that says, leaked documents from an assembly convened this week by the nation's largest teachers union alleged to show the National Education Association is debating a proposal to begin pushing the use of LGBTQIA+ inclusive language like birthing parent instead of mother and non-birthing parent instead of father in formal language used by state and local entities. So this argument, or really just this request to be called a woman, isn't a mousetrap, it's not bait. People are in fact pushing for the use of this language in non-doctor's office settings, non-clinical contexts. As you can see, people are talking about introducing it into the education system, so at schools. So he's incorrect in saying that nobody is asking her to call herself anything other than a woman, because as we just read, that's not true. Somebody replied with just, Hitler liked your tweet, and that got 6,000 likes. So yes, it may be true that after all this time, Hitler may have not been pushing for, quote, gender-inclusive language. I know that may be sad to hear for some. When I think of all of the bad things that Hitler did, the first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that he wasn't referring to women as birthing people. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, guys. This one just says, I regret to inform you that you have just endorsed literal genocide. Say psych, bro? Say psych right now? Where's the JK? Okay, listen. I don't want tone indicators on Twitter, but I feel like this one is a joke? Like, I mean, it can't be serious, right? Like saying, like, I want to be called the woman as a woman, like in the form of a tweet. Like that, no way, right? Yeah, no, that's gotta be a joke. Inclusive language is offensive? Okay. No, inclusive language is retarded. You have to understand there's a difference there, okay? When a woman wants to be called a woman, but there's a small portion of society that wants her to be referred to as a person with a uterus instead, she's not crying out of sadness, out of offendedness. She's just like, this shit is so retarded, can we stop this? You're not being referred to personally when it's about the action. Men, women, and non-binary people all give birth and menstruate. Person-first language is clearer than gendered language. Change can be tough when you're used to your identity being the default. Try to step back. Is this better? I took a step back from the microphone. I still think you're stupid though. Nobody is doing this unless speaking in a group that is gender expansive. If you yourself wish to be referred to as a woman, that's how you'll be referred to. Honoring gender is not that hard. And this logical fallacy that we don't want to refer to you as a woman is weird. Bro, you said nobody is doing this, and then you said sometimes we're doing this. Like, pick a side. I feel like if you're gonna be on the side of people that really wants to push to erase the word woman and replace it with person with uterus, bro, just go all in and embrace it. You know, stop doing this thing where it's like, oh, no one wants you to do this. No one's actually asking you to be a person with a uterus. Because one sentence later, you end up doing something where you contradict that entirely by saying something like, oh, well, sometimes we may ask you to be a person with a uterus, or in this context, you're a person with a uterus. You're not just a woman. It's like, okay. You're deeply triggered by people using the word person to describe people? Jeez, get over yourself. No one's erasing the existence of woman, nor are people banning the use of words like woman or mother. Grow up. I can't believe that a woman making a tweet saying, hey, I don't want to be called a person who gives birth or a person with a uterus. Like, that demand is actually warranting people saying, dude, get over yourself. Okay, grow up. Like, what? Wouldn't it be the opposite? Wouldn't the people making this big demand to change the entire way we use language, wouldn't they be the group that needs to be told to get over themselves? If I approached a person who then told me to use birthing person when referring to a woman, I feel like they would sort of have a tangy odor to them, you know, like a very unpleasant aroma, sort of a ghastly smell, which I think is a good metaphor for what they believe in. These people likely smelling bad in person directly translates to their ideas being also not pleasant. I'm a woman. I'm a person with a uterus, birthing person, and a person who menstruates. My bodily functions have nothing to do with me identifying as a woman, and I'm sad for you that your womanhood centers around your organs and your ability to have children. Bro, what are you talking about? That's the exact opposite of what she said. She wants to be called not those things. All the things that you mentioned that you are bodily functions, so your identity surrounds those bodily functions. That lady, Anna Kasparian, the original tweeter, was basically saying, hey, yeah, don't call me those things, just call me a woman. It's much simpler. It can't be that deep. Like, there's no way that it could ever be this deep. Anyways, at Autistic Marks says, Anna Kasparian has swallowed the turf rhetoric hook, line, and sinker. Bro, in her tweet, she literally said, oh, you can find better ways to help trans people. There are better ways to support transgender people than to erase the word woman. I don't think TERFs would say that we should be respectful to trans people. Isn't that the whole point? And isn't that not what Anna Kasparian is doing here? I don't really understand your angle here. This isn't TERF rhetoric. This is just wanting some, like, standards and decency in society. Like, hey, I don't want to be called a uterus haver. I don't want to be called a penis haver. Men and women work just fine and have for, like, hundreds of years. But anyways, if you guys ended up enjoying this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment down wave if you made it to the end of the video, and follow my social medias. Links are all down below. I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.